Hi everyone, thanks for taking a look at my channel. I'm the Carnivore Curmudgeon and I am a real carnivore, although I am not a real curmudgeon, mostly. I thought about what I like seeing on other people's channels, especially when it comes to their way of eating, their way of life, what has worked for them, what has helped them through different stages of their life. And I realized one of the things I really liked was hearing other people's stories, seeing what they've been through. And I knew that I really wanted to and needed to do something similar for this channel so that people could see that I am a real person and that I've been through some things myself. I'm just shy of 60 years old, so I've lived a little bit of life and things just keep getting better. I wanted to share a little bit about my life with you. I can tell you that for my entire life since high school, I have struggled with my weight. I was a chubby kid and I thinned out, and when I left high school, when I graduated high school, I weighed about 175 pounds. I went into the military and almost immediately gained 25 pounds. I think a lot of it was being on a ship for extended periods of time and having a lot of easily accessible junk food, just the standard American diet food. Hamburgers and hot dogs and French fries. And even though there are other things available, most of it was an abundance of too much food and certainly not enough activity. But even after the military, I continued to struggle. Even though I had physically demanding jobs and even though I had access to good food, lifestyle choices and a lot of different factors caused me to yo-yo in my weight, yo-yo in my health. And so this has been an ongoing thing since I was really about 19 or 20 years old. And I can tell you I've tried everything from the weight loss aspect. I've tried the cabbage soup diet. I've tried Weight Watchers. Hated them both. I have tried Nutrisystem. I would rather eat the box that it came in. I tried Dr. Furman's stuff and really hated that way of eating. I tried the Zone, which was something that was just not manageable from a discipline point of view, although I did have some decent results for a period of time. I tried the raw diet. I tried calorie restriction. I did keto. I've done paleo. And over the years, I've had some success, but have always slipped back into failure. And I'm sure that that's the case with many other people as well. There are a lot of different factors involved in that. Life gets in the way. We allow life to get in the way. Lack of discipline and bad choices all can contribute to a recipe for an unhealthy weight, an unhealthy body, an unhealthy mind even. The one thing that I have found that really impressed me and has helped me is the carnivore diet. Last year, at the age of 58, I decided to get serious about the carnivore way of eating. I'll probably use the term carnivore diet as we go, but understand that it's more than just a diet. It's more of a lifestyle, more of a mindset, and it's an enjoyable one once you figure out that it works and it is satisfying and that your health really can take a turn for the better. That's what did it for me. I started to see not only was I losing weight, which is why I came to it in the first place, but the health benefits that came with it were far beyond what I could have imagined. Just as a, for instance, the laundry list off the top of my head, I had psoriasis on the back of my head that would burn like fire. But that psoriasis over the course of 90 days of carnivore eating went away. I had high blood pressure for about 15 years and I took medication for that. And over that course of the first 30 days, really, the high blood pressure stabilized to a normal good blood pressure level. And I stopped taking my medicine, the medicine. I don't like to say my medicine or my blood sugar problem or my psoriasis because I don't want to own that. Those are things that crept into my life and into my health that they're not really mine. They don't belong with me. I also had a chronic cough that went away over the course of the first 90 days. I had low testosterone. And of course, being my age, people would normally just think, well, that's just normal. You're almost 60 years old. You're going to have low T. Well, maybe, but my testosterone leveled out on its own by eating a carnivore way of eating. I had constant chronic gas and bloating, and that was gone over that 90 days. I even had, in the interest of TMI, fair warning, stick your fingers in your ears and go la 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 if you don't want to hear it, but I had a hemorrhoid that had been bothering me for years that healed up with nothing more than just eating a carnivore diet. Those are just some of the things I can think of off the top of my head. And then along with that came weight loss. And it was, I'm not going to say it was effortless, but it was conscious weight loss. I knew what I was doing. I was conscious of what I was eating. I was never hungry out of bounds because I ate when I was hungry. I ate the right things and I was satisfied. And the weight started to peel off. And over the course of that 90 days, last year in 2021, from May until the end of August, beginning of September, I lost about 40 pounds. I went from 250 pounds to 208 pounds at my lowest weight and felt fantastic. And then life got in my way again. I had a setback and a failure, not just with the carnivore diet, but with my health, with my attitude, with my approach to resolving my problem. And I'll tell you about it just in a very brief way. I was just on a great high. I felt terrific. I was vibrant. I don't like the gym much. I'm not really a gym guy, but I do like getting out in the woods. I like cutting wood. I like doing things that do raise my heart rate. I like helping my family in their projects, whether it's building things or clearing trails. It's just something that I really enjoy. That was the bulk of my exercise for the most part. And one day, I didn't do something dramatic. I didn't try to lift an entire tree. Actually, I bent over to put some clothes away in a drawer, and I felt something, just a little ping in my lower back. And this is something that I've had an issue with over the years, lower back issues, but never anything so severe like this. It was a ping at first. I made it through the first day feeling a little discomfort and feeling like maybe I need a visit to the chiropractor. But within 48 hours, I was in the most excruciating pain I have ever experienced. And it was because I had herniated a disc in my back, and it was pinching off the sciatic nerve on my right leg. Now, just to give you some sort of semblance of what I personally felt with this, in my lifetime, I have had knee surgery on both knees. I have broken my wrist to the point that it almost came out of the skin. It was almost a compound fracture. I broke this arm up here above the elbow when I was very young, a year or 2 years old. I have broken several fingers, both thumbs, few toes. I once cracked my pelvic bone and my tailbone in a fall. And I can honestly say that I would do all of those things at one time and experience that pain rather than ever go through the sciatic nerve pain again. It was that terrible. I lied on the floor just writhing in pain, couldn't do anything about it. Made my first trip to the emergency room since I was in high school. My poor wife and family were having to put up with just me being in absolute misery. I did manage to go to the doctor as well as go to the emergency room. I had probably 10 different prescriptions for pain relievers, muscle relaxers, all kinds of different things, even the Oxycontin ibuprofen mix. And none of it did much more than sort of lull me to the point that if I got in the right position, I could sleep. And admittedly, when it came to food, I just did not care. All I wanted was to eat whatever, drink whatever, and take pills whatever until I could alleviate some of the pain. And that pain lasted a lot longer than even the doctors supposed it would, to the point that I really got back into a habit of bad habits, alcohol and the pain relievers and whatever food comforted me. And in November of last year, I did end up having surgery to correct the herniated disc. But the bad habit was not excised with the herniated disc. The bad habits stayed. And so over the course of the ensuing months, from November until, well, this November, I have yo-yoed back up and down and really not committed to doing what I knew would make me feel my best, would give me the greatest genuine health, and probably would make me look as good as a curmudgeon can look at my age and with my genetics. So I tell you all this because I am now back on track, and I have rebooted my carnivore way of eating, and I feel terrific. It's only been a few days, but I wanted to share this story with people who have maybe gone through the same thing or have tried several different things and feel like, well, I've tried it all, I might as well give up. If you have not yet tried the carnivore way of eating, number one, I would encourage you to educate yourself from some of the very best. Dr. Ken Berry, and I will put a link to his YouTube down in the notes below this, Dr. Sean Baker, Dr. Anthony Chaffee, all of these guys and more, even some websites where they might get a little rough and snarky with their language, but the information is terrific. And I'll put those links down below if you care to see them. But educate yourself. Take your time to look. Convince yourself that it's something that, if it's something for you, then you can be educated and ready to make that decision and do it. But I would encourage you to take some action, whatever action that might be. If you're not satisfied with your station in life, health-wise, body-wise, weight-wise, take the action that you need to, but consider this carnivore way of eating. It is an evolutionary way of eating. People have been eating high-fat, meaty diets, foods, eggs, cheese for thousands of years, and they have thrived. And it's really only been in the last 50 or 60 years that the health system, the health gurus in our government especially, have thwarted people's health by directing them down a path that, well-meaning as they may have been, is just not healthy for people. So many of the foods that they recommend just turn to sugar instantly in your system and do myriad damages to the inside of our bodies. And if your goal is strictly weight loss, well, then do it for the weight loss. Educate yourself and then make a decision to do it for the weight loss and stick with it. And find a group maybe that will help you. Do whatever you can to encourage yourself by surrounding yourself with people who will encourage you. And you know, when I lost the 40 pounds last year, I actually had people who were concerned about me. They wanted to know if I was okay. They wanted to know if, you know, did he maybe, you don't have the big C, do you? Meaning cancer. And of course, I did have the big C, but the big C was the carnivore weapon in my arsenal of health rather than the big C in the terrible way that so many people experience, often as a result of a lifetime of poor food choices or poor food availability. So that's my story. In the coming weeks, I'm going to post updates each week to show you my reboot as I continue. I'm on day 4 right now, and I'm documenting what I'm eating. And if anybody cares to see it, then it will be there for them to see here on my channel. And just remember that you can improve your life. You can make a difference for yourself, and you can enjoy the benefits of good health and weight loss by making great food choices like eating a carnivore diet. Don't be a curmudgeon. Leave that up to us professionals. Put a smile on your face and eat some meat.